Well, firstly, it's very good to get that win. Very important win for us. It's very difficult to be very consistent as a team in this format. I think we need to come to terms with that. Sometimes you need character from a few people to get you over the line, and that's exactly what happened in the last game. The spinners bowled beautifully. Then Hardik Holdings now at the end was brilliant for us. All the things we needed to do in the end we did, pulling that game back. So that's a big positive. Apart from that, I think you don't need to do anything much different in this format. I think, as I said before, awareness counts a lot in this format. Sometimes we tend to get carried away with the occasion or the importance of the game or the situation that we are in. We forget to do exactly what needs to be done on that particular delivery, which could be a game-changing event. So that's why they say this format basically requires you to be at the top of your focus and concentration for 120 balls while batting and in the field as well. So I think that's the only thing we can sort of look to do is stay in the moment and not get carried away with the bigger picture. The results take care of itself once you do the process right. So it's very important to obviously assess these things and keep them in mind before you play the game. We do have meetings, we do discuss these things as to what can be done on a particular surface. The surface might look different, but it might behave very differently on the day of the game. So I think it really depends on the individual, how they want to prepare, how they want to go about playing on a particular wicket. I think you need to choose areas of the ground that you think you can hit a particular bowler, towards. And you just need to plan according to your strengths, I think. But on game day, I think you need to think on your feet. Too much pre-planning, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't work. If I have to speak from an individual point of view, different individuals prepare differently. But adaptability is one thing that is key when you're playing a tournament like the World Cup. As you said, different venues. It's not a tournament like the IPL where you're playing 7 home games and 7 away. So you can plan for the home games, but away again, it's a challenge because you have to adapt. So I think that's a big challenge. But the team does it well with the most calm head are the ones who would go all the way in this tournament, I believe. Well, I've always said I sort of tend to thrive on those situations, but you just cannot go in with that sort of mindset only, while entering the field. You need to be versatile. You need to be able to play within yourself as well, and that's something that I'm learning. And I've been able to do for the past few months. Debate on the field or not, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm pretty sure of the plans I take into the middle. But if I get into a debate with anyone and if I have to take a certain stand, that necessarily doesn't put me off my game. If anything, that motivates me more. But it doesn't mean that if I don't get into a debate with someone, I won't be motivated to win the game for my team. That's something that I've come to terms with, that not every team is going to have a go at you. So it's better to plan your innings without that situation, and if that situation comes in, you have to take it as more fuel to the fire you actually take in with you. So Australia is a side that we all know is a very strong side. They play with a lot of passion, and I believe in playing the same way. So I like that challenge. I've always enjoyed playing against Australia, but that doesn't mean that you're going to end up scoring every game that you play. You still have to respect the conditions, the bowlers. You still have to follow your plans. You just can't sit in your dressing room thinking, if it's Australia, I'm going to end up scoring runs. No, they might be too good on the day. So you got to be aware of what you're actually doing out there in the middle. One thing I learned was if you play well in the semis or the finals of the World Cup, you become more confident as a player if you perform. You need to take up challenges rather than being nervous about them. Obviously, it was my first World Cup as a 21-year-old. I think the occasion was too overwhelming for me. I'd never seen the prime ministers from both countries present in the ground ever, and it was them shaking hands with us before the game. It was something that took me by surprise a bit. I did not expect the energies to be so high, but what I learned was that it's very easy to look at these things and not focus on what you have to do. Eventually, all those things are taken care of if you focus on the cricket ball that's coming towards you. If you don't focus on that, you're not going to get the results. you're not going to be able to enjoy the moment that you see around you. And in the process of wanting to enjoy that moment, you forget what you need to do to actually eventually end up enjoying that moment. So I think that's why I said it's very important to be aware of what you are doing at that moment, and then look at the bigger picture or celebrate the bigger picture after you've got the victory under the belt. Sometimes we tend to get carried away with the crowd cheering too much, or the situation getting more excited, and the game can change in a matter of 2 deliveries in this format. So we need to be very, very aware of that, and keep the situation aside and focus on what we need to do first.